I want people like us to be able to engage with people like him without it being this weird thing. And I honestly think it is this weird thing with him. He has this complex that he's like, you know, he thinks he can't like go hard on us or something like that. So therefore, if we ever come at him with anything like harder than a little, you know, pinky flip, he, you know, kind of freaks out because he's like, hey, I'm not allowed to, you know, fight back here. And it's like, you know, wait, who said you're not allowed to fight back? Where did you, you know, like, he's got a weird idea of like what we expect in terms of allyship.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I could say, but I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it's not even worth
it's just so frustrating
my opinion, because I know exactly what ends up happening. And I'm there's a good chance that this fucking video will end up on the front of DGG tomorrow. So
hi DGG.
Depending on how spicy, depending on how much we actually delve into. But whatever.
Yeah. Like basically a gentleman and a scholar.
Comment for no comment chick? Oh my god.
I know, right? Does he even know the irony? Probably.
Whoa,
Senpai
shit.
Chow, do you know the irony? Oh my god, that was turned way up. Did you hear that or something? Did you hear my stream alert?
I didn't. No, I just saw it though.
Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah, it's everything's big. We went to Stream Elements, and it's almost like Alice in Wonderland, you know, where she goes into that thing, and I don't know if everything's big or it's that she's really small. I think it's that she's really small. Yeah, that's right. She eats something and she becomes really small, and that's what I feel like right now, because everything, all my little dudes have become big gators, big stubby gators, and it's great, but it's a little bit intimidating too.
Wait, so you're gonna have me on your screen as well?
Oh yeah, you're on my screen right now.
So maybe I should hide my camera.
Oh, I see. Oh, because we're doing the infinite. Oh no, I'm not gonna say it. It's not an infinite regress. It's actually called recursion. It's a different thing. It seems like it would be called that, but no, it's actually not.
It's okay. I'll be here in this corner with a little tiny bit of lag, but everybody can deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, I could, I'm trying to think what our other options are. The other option would be whereby, if you want to do that. It's just
I got it. I got the solution.
Okay.
I figured it out.
Okay, as long as I'm not posting cringe to your feed.
No focus here. No, you're not posting cringe at all. This is fine. We'll make this work. This will do. We'll have to make it happen like this.
We'll figure it out. Oh, they want me to...
Are you ready? We were just watching CPAC and the American Japanese Samurai Alliance.
Oh, geez. Oh, yeah.
A wild ride, of course.
Yeah, I've been watching some of that stuff, and oh my god, the magical rune. Oh my god,
you've got like triple ears and... Oh yeah, the rune. Yeah,
they keep. Yeah, it's a reward. It's a reward for people who save up their points, and they can force me to put on extra cat ears.
Oh, incredible! Well, that's awesome. My chat says get in the fucking robot, but that's the wrong character. So.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
You're not too far off. You're not too far off.
Asuka was always ready to jump in the robot. Asuka was more than ready to get in the robot, basically every time.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, these are not just like, if you think these are decorative, like, you know, think again, right?
Yeah.
Why would I not need these? Of course I need them. It's not like I'm an algorithm. Come on. It's not like I'm somehow cybernetically...
Yeah, what the fuck?
What are you thinking? What kind of weird headcanon? People do have weird headcanons about me, DemonMama, and they have weird headcanons about you too. You are like,
of course they do. I know, I'm the most fictionalized character on Twitter and YouTube right now.
The comic book villainess of the nightmares of so many.
True. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people have been mad at me. A lot of people have been really incoherently mad at me in the last few weeks. And actually, really, realistically, the last 3 months, if we're completely honest.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. The villain, the biggest villain, the most hated person in all of fucking YouTube and Twitter and apparently Twitch Politics. Twitch Politics has been spending a lot of time talking about me lately. We'll say, made a lot of content for a lot of people.
Yeah, for somebody that's not even on Twitch.
Yeah, people ought to be a little more thankful. I create a lot of content for them to talk about. They've made a lot of money off of my face, okay? Every time I log on to Twitch in the last 2 weeks, it's been my face plastered all over the place.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's a SEO that's on the rise, Emily.
True.
But yeah, the little dudes come up.
More little dudes, and they're so big. Everything's big here, DemonMama. I hate to bring you like I feel like I brought you out here and we're in the middle of the jungle or something, like giant little gators and
Oh no, it's good. Hypnotizing cats and whatever. It's all good.
I gotta fix that one. That one's a default.
I can
Everybody knows that one. That's a default.
If you want, then you can. I trust you to ask a good question. So
I want to ask you, when is your infrared video coming out?
Yeah. Well, listen. When I get the check for 175, which is my standing offer for infrared, he paid 250 to fucking Vosh. He could pay 175 to me.
And 200 to Xanderhall, right?
Did he pay 200 to Xanderhall? Well,
that's what I heard.
All right, then I'm bumping it up. It's 195. The 175 deal is gone. It's 195. You get a $5 off, 5% off deal, or whatever. Wait, it would be 2.5% off. All right, listen, that's fair. That's fair as fuck. So then we'll see.
Once I get my check. Yeah. I wonder how much he paid for that. I hope he didn't pay for that Sonsol interview though. The Sonsol debate.
Oh, with Dylan? Yeah, that was a little.
Yeah, that was rough. That was fun. Yeah.
I watched some of it. Maybe we'll finish. I don't know. Maybe we'll finish it on stream at some point. I watched a little bit of it.
Yeah, no, it's oh my god, it's some real shit right there. I know it
started spicy. It got right into it.
There's memes. It's so thick with memes. Like, yeah, it's just I can't even remember. I can't even pull one out. Like, that's how thick it is with memes. It's meme soup. It's like a meme stroganoff, actually, is what it is.
Oh, all right. Well, I mean, I'm fine with that. Then maybe we'll check that out a little bit later. We got a lot of stuff to do. So.
Highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. But really, what we brought you on here to talk about is
the real meat and
what you've been doing in these past weeks when you have been like just under under the scope of DGG and like a whole bunch of people that have this headcanon of you being this super evil villainess that sneaks around in bad faith trying to start arguments with people or blow shit up when in reality you're trying to get off the phone the whole time.
Yeah, well, let's see. I am trying to think. I want to be completely fair to all of the people who have all of the literal thousands of people who've had horrible things to say about me. And I want to just make sure that I'm not saying that people said different things about me than what was actually said, but as of the last checkup, I am a genocide denying transphobe who is also who uses turf rhetoric and also didn't think about transition enough before I transitioned. So there's the that's the conclusion, I think, is what everybody has. That's the character that's been written for me. Whether that's true or not, is up to the people to decide. Though I will say a significant amount of people have since threat to women, a threat to trans people, that was from the last cancellation cycle. Contra was super on point about all this, by the way. The way that like previous cancellations are used to justify future cancellations, it's exactly, literally, I like, goddamn, Contra of all people, like, literally knows what she's talking about.
That is the playbook. So, that's definitely like how they do it with Vosh. That's how they do it with Xanderhall. That's that's generally how this tends to run. Is they'll try to build off of stuff, even if it's been discredited. They like wait till long enough where people forget that it was discredited, and they bring it out all over again. It's like, oh, you get to enjoy this old chestnut again. Okay, I see where we're going with this.
Yeah, it's a little bit wild. But yeah, those are the things that have been said about me. I made one video in response, and other than that, have basically barely talked about this at all. Mostly, partially because almost no one reached out to me, and secondly, because I wasn't super interested in it. It was actually like a massive annoyance to me. I've been like on a roll making some pretty awesome content, which a lot of which has been completely ignored because people just want to sink their teeth into this drama and then run away back to wherever they go. But yeah, so I talked on Chud Logic's channel about it a little bit because he invited me on, and actually that's it, I think. Now. Oh wait, I did talk a tiny bit about, like, not really about the drama or anything, but about the debate originally. Like, I did talk about that with I did talk about that with Lexi very, very shortly, like 15 minutes. Like we just
Oh
chit
yeah,
chatted
yeah,
about
yeah, yeah.
the views on the
Lexi's
actual
been
page.
going at it with Pepe
Yeah,
La
Lexi's
D
been
lately
Lexi's the
too.
one who's been Lexi's been the one who's in the crosshairs this week. So they've moved on to that, which is pretty shitty.
I
Honestly,
honestly
the shit that's being said about Lexi is
oh
pretty funny
god,
in my
yeah.
opinion.
I
Yeah.
know, and
No,
it's like
not a surprise though.
No, they take the most wholesome and beautiful part about you and they try to make it into something like that's cringe or some shit like that. I don't know. It's fucked up. Like because like what like the heart of your debate with Riley, I think was the idea of allowing people some or not some, but autonomy over their identity.
No, I
And
mean, yes, but it's not just a matter of allowing it. It's a matter of that. Like, I genuinely think that that's the most functional
well,
model with
yeah.
which to like practically go forward.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, there's been a whole lot of things said again, like everything from calling me a turf to saying I'm a transphobe. I think that's just absolutely absurd, like laughably absurd. But you know, that's how these things
They're
run. But the
throwing
core of my
everything
argument,
against the
I think,
wall and
still
they're just seeing
holds.
what will stick.
Yeah, yeah, it's we're gonna see how it goes, and you know, I'm very interested because this Friday I'm going to be having a bit of a debate about, not about anything to do with the drama, just about the my actual opinion on gender self ID.
Mm.
I'm doing a lot of research for that. I'm going to be talking with Avi and Ask Yourself, both people who tend to subscribe closer to a position like what Riley had, and I disagree with them and I have a number of reasons for it that I'm putting together, and I think that will be very interesting to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Um, and but again, I firmly reject the idea that like anything that any of my arguments in that were like outrageous arguments. I think they're very, very easily substantiated, and also I genuinely believe that like a self ID approach where we basically take it on good faith that anybody who claims to be a gender is that gender, because there's no way that we can verify that, is the only real functional way to go forward. Everything else puts you into a an area of essentially litigating who is what and who isn't, and I don't think that we should do that. I don't think that's a good
Right.
start. I think that sets that sort of tease up the ball for eugenicists and other things. Although I don't think that most people who are making that type of argument are making that type of like are doing it for that reason. I just think that once you try to um define what like a true member of a gender is of any type, or what that means, you run into an issue. We have no real other way except to take it on fact. It's the same. I look at it very similarly to like names. You know what I mean? We don't litigate what people's names are. Yeah, sure, we have a legal name system, which is, you know, has some flaws, but because you have to pay money to like change your legal name or whatever. But as far as monikers, like we have a whole system in place that just basically says that anybody can use whatever fucking name that they
Right.
want, except for in very specific situations, like again, like if you're like purchasing a business or something like that, then you have to use your legal name. But other than that, it's like if somebody says, "Hey, my name is Jake," then you go, nobody goes, "Is it really
Yeah.
Jacobinius? Is it
Nobody,
really your
nobody,
name, Jacob, or
nobody
is it
seriously
Jacobinius?"
says, "Look, but you look more like a like an Andrew to me, but you look
Yeah,
more like a Bartholomew to me." Like, you know what I mean? It's not like
yeah.
there's nobody's trying to find a formula to say, okay, like based on these characteristics, this is what your name should be. And like this like that was one of the so I've debated irrelevant so far on this. I didn't really like, I wasn't trying to debate irrelevant, but I guess he was watching my stream and I was talking about it and he was like, "Oh, she's posting massive cringe." Usually he's okay with me, but he had to come over and have a little chat with me and set me straight on
Who did?
some.
Sorry.
Oh, irrelevant.
Oh. Oh, did he have a problem with what I said too?
Yeah, he was a little bit pearl clutchy. He's a little bit
Yeah,
pearl
well,
clutchy.
doesn't surprise me.
But yeah, no, that was like one of the things that they're just like they're
Bunch of
hurt by the
people.
fact that
The
this
story of the last 2 weeks is a bunch of people who've never talked to me had complete and utter meltdowns, like public meltdowns about how I'm the most dangerous person in the world without actually understanding my opinion at all, and literally just regurgitating word for word the exact opinions of somebody else. It's just like, okay, I don't know. Again, I found this whole thing to be ridiculously like exhausting and boring and frustrating. And as time has gone on and I've gone back and reviewed everything, like I'm just like, I don't know. Yeah. The cancellation, I think it was fair. It's fair to be called a cancellation.
I was just about to say that
yeah.
based on the way you're describing it, that's exactly what it is. And by people who like, a lot of these people have complained vociferously in the past about, you know, their own cancellation or the concepts of cancel culture, you know, like, but yeah.
Their idea of cancellation is like 2 people tell them they're wrong on Twitter. My idea of cancellation is 3 months of perpetually getting comments saying that I should be deplatformed, that I'm like a subhuman piece of trash, floods of TERFs flowing in, and telling me that I'm like the most popular one they've been running with lately that I've been seeing quite a lot on my videos is it's fat guy in a dress, fat guy in a dress, fat guy in a dress is the one thing that they've been posting quite a lot, mostly on the videos that are pertaining to this drama and the previous drama. Yeah, just a lot of shit, like a lot of shit. And basically, and so like that's my definition of canceling. But you know, I understand there's some people out there who are very, very, you know, they don't have quite as thick of a skin as I do. And, you know, I wouldn't want to minimize their cancellation when somebody told them they were wrong on twitter.com. But
well, that was the thing that confused me about the original debate, and I'm glad that you're continuing talking about the subject matter with somebody who hopefully, you know, you can just like agree to disagree or whatever with, because like that's what I didn't get, is that like, you know, Riley was trying to kind of walk you down this like logic tree because, you know, she's engaged in this project and she wants, you know,
it was so peaceful
she wants she would like to have you sign on and be like, yes, you know, I'm on board with this too, right? And so she's walking you down this logic tree and you're just like, listen, there's a real hang up here. This is not how I see that. And what I don't understand is why did that set her off so much? Like, what? How did it? Like, you know, like you were saying with,
I have no clue, and I'm not really super interested in speculating.
Yeah.
Like, you know, again, I don't really have much interest in speculating on what's
That's
going on.
true. You can't really, yeah.
Like, again, like, from the moment the conversation ended, I've been blocked, and to my knowledge, that hasn't changed at all. In fact, God, it's gotten out. It's so out of hand. It's like ridiculous. But my one response is all that I've really done on this, minus people who are like asking me it. And no, you know me, I've literally always been willing to discuss things that I believe, discuss my opinions, be open to critique and whatever.
Oh yeah.
So obviously if people ask me to come on their show and talk about it, I will talk about it, but I'm not going to like, I haven't done like 8 videos on this or anything like that. So, you know, I don't know. This whole thing has just been a very confusing experience. And to me, it seems like very transparently, people finding basically anything they can to try and like whip up anger against me is what it seems like.
Yeah. And I talked about Destiny about that. Like that was the thing that when he came on with Merrick, I just could not figure out like, what are you doing that almost every other debater is not doing. Do you know what I mean? Like, and he couldn't give me an answer. You know, he couldn't tell me what was bad about you. And all I can get is that he wasn't expecting what he got in the debate that day. It didn't look good. And like, instead of maybe, I don't know, like coming back and having another bite of the apple, because, you know, he can roll. Maybe he was just a little.
You'd think he could.
You'd think, well, you got sleep stiny, didn't you?
Huh?
You got sleeps. Did you get sleep stiny?
What's that mean?
So when he's a little low energy and stuff, like the way that he was when I talked to him on about.
Oh no, he was pretty sprightly. Like when I was talking to him, like I don't know. Like here's the funny thing. Like that first conversation, I had fun with that conversation. I've said this for months. Even now, I mean, obviously looking back, it wasn't fucking worth the time of day. But I had fun with that conversation. I thought it was like a lot of banter and it was like really great. I did not expect the immediate like lies. I mean, honestly, the real shit picked up after like the DSK thing, which I thought was another one that was just perplexing to me. And of course, by the way, that got rehashed again like 6 times during this whole recent cancellation, got brought back up and told from only one perspective, of course. You know, that's just how it goes. So yeah, sorry, like I don't know all the Destiny lingo stuff. But yeah, no, he seemed fine. He seemed relatively energetic and whatnot.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
he just, I don't know. I just feel like instead of like, instead of scapegoating you, like he should take some pride in himself as a debate bro. And he should want to come back and challenge again. You know what I mean? Like that's the, I don't know.
Did anybody ever check if he actually posted that conversation on his channel? Did he? I don't know.
I believe that would be a no. I believe that would be a no. And, hey, Destiny, thank you. Because, like, that way, I think my video probably did better because it wasn't available there. So, like, I did a little debate analysis on that one and enjoyed it quite a bit. And that's what I don't get. It's like, why can't that just be a fun debate, okay? Like, and I can hazard a guess because I have talked to him a little bit about that. I'm actually really curious about this because, like, I want people like us to be able to engage with people like him without it being this weird thing. And I honestly think it is this weird thing with him. He has this complex that he's like, he thinks he can't like go hard on us or something like that. So therefore, if we ever come at him with anything like harder than a little pinky flip, he, kind of freaks out because he's like, hey, I'm not allowed to, fight back here. And it's like, wait, who said you're not allowed to fight back? Where did you, like, he's got a weird idea of like what we expect in terms of allyship.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I could say, but I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it's not even worth
it's just so frustrating
my opinion because I know exactly what ends up happening. And I'm there's a good chance that this fucking video will end up on the front of DGG tomorrow. So
hi DGG.
Depending on how spicy, depending on how much we actually delve into. But whatever.
Yeah. No, yeah. That is always a looming threat. But yeah, no, it's like a I don't know, it's just so frustrating because I've had so much trouble just doing debates, right? At first, I was hanging out with the wrong crowd, a crowd of people that thought that me doing debates with people meant that I was, I don't know, turning into Peter Coffin before their eyes or something like that. I don't know what they thought. They thought some weird stuff that really wasn't, it didn't end up being true about me at all. I just wanted to have some spicy debates, right? And then once I get into the spicy debates, it's this whole thing of like, well, we don't really think of you as a spicy debate chick. Oh, do you want me to tear CTV's face off for you then? Would you think of me as a spicy debate chick then? What do you want to see? What do you want to see? You want me to go after a friend of mine? No, actually, that makes it sound like I did that on purpose. That was bad. That was that Vivian thing. That was like, I feel a little bit like you because like that was a conversation that I just wanted to be a conversation. We very much disagreed on it and it ended up as a fucking bridge burning and I don't fucking get it. Like, why does it have to be like that? You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't trying to go that hard. I did disagree. I didn't back down, but I didn't want to fucking end, a friendship. And I get that that's, oh God, I don't want to fucking, sorry, I'm like opening shit up for you probably. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Because I know that there's like an emotional component to this
I agree.
too.
I think that there's like, I do think there's like, there's a tendency specifically during like, I don't know, like we live in a pretty intense time. A lot of people are trapped inside. I think there's a tendency for some people to lean like whole hog into like, I must disassociate from you. Personally, I think that's like a toxic approach and a toxic mentality in most cases. And also like a weaponization of tactics that like, like a weaponization of tactics that are mostly designed to like, hey, like if somebody is harmful in our communities, like we need to have a way to like get them out of our communities so that they don't keep hurting people. But I think it gets distorted when it enters social media and people stop understanding like what they're doing and there's no verification. And it's really easy for these things to get hijacked into like, because communities like, like a Keemstar-esque community can get involved and just find like be like, ooh, here's some drama that we can generate clicks from. And it might be something that starts as like a internal community disagreement or a worry over problematic elements or whatever, and then it gets jumped on and then it spins out of control and becomes just a totally destroyed mess. So yeah.
Yeah, that's what I always say, is that like some of the work that people end up just, or some of the viciousness that we show to each other on the left, like, you know what I mean, in terms of like harming people that people only mean to go this far, actually ends up like getting used by like, you know, Nazis later down the line, right? That this is a common.
TERFs and everybody else.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, even if you think that you're only doing this much, you might be opening the door to like a lot more harm. And I don't see why it has to be like that. Like, I like arguing with people. If I disagree with you, it doesn't mean that I like, you know, think you're a bad person. I mean, there are some, you know, like lines I won't go beyond. Like if somebody's, you know, arguing for something that's horrible or ghoulish, or like, you know, just not okay with, you know, doesn't respect me as a person or my friends, right? Then like that's a line. But
as you know, I've been doing debate for a long time. This has been a lot of the content on my channel is debate content. And like I don't even mind like a little bit of like attempts at dunking, but like I don't know. I can't think of like I can think of like one occasion where I've ever even felt like somebody needed to be deplatformed, and that was when there was a literal Nazi like making jokes about child murder and shit. Like that was the type of stuff that and there was one other time where there was somebody who uh and this wasn't even because of like their opinions that I felt, but like they had some serious PR dirt on them that I felt could be dangerous to other people in this space. And so I made people aware of that because they had videos out of them admitting to baiting their child into like misbehaving and then beating their child like severely hard, like their tiny child. And I was like, oh my god, like if anybody has this person on their show,
yeah,
then it could be a disaster very quickly.
So it was like diffusing a time bomb before it went off, basically.
Those are like the only two times I've ever engaged in like deplatforming rhetoric or anything like that. Like my lines are generally like, yeah, you want to dunk a little bit, you want to like get a little spicy or whatever, sure. But I don't know. I think there's a line when you just start when you basically say gloves are off, I'm just gonna make up like complete lies and also like use these like extremely hyperbolic lies to also advocate for your deplatforming and all this stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I've just realized there are some people who don't really share that type of worldview, and those people aren't really productive to engage with. Like you know, online debate and whatnot is like to a certain degree is a market of trust and a market of respect. And it's very easy for people to we're all in tenuous positions. It's easy for our platforms to take damage, or for us to get banned or brigaded or whatever. So I don't know. I think you have to be able to trust people to a certain degree to be able to make content with them, to be able to have conversations with them, or to be able to work with them or their communities. Yeah.
True.
Yep.
No, that's yeah, and it is a trust issue. It is kind of a one of those things that you God, and it's gotta suck to like be in a situation where you feel like you're with somebody you know can trust, and to just have it spiral out of control like it did. And what
yeah.
did I just do to myself? Oh my god, is that a stream alert? Yeah.
I think it was a stream alert.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this last thing really spiraled out of control. In my opinion, it just became nonsense, and that's why I haven't really engaged in much about it. I think it's actually, again, it's in my opinion laughable how ridiculous the rhetoric got and how it still is and what the narratives are that are running about me and whatnot. But you know, at a certain degree, you just have to stop caring and get on with your life and go do other things. Which is mostly what I've been doing for this week. And like I took a couple days off when this fucking shit unfolded because it was so chaotic and there was so much shit coming my way. Which sucked, but it is what it is. And now I've been, you know, back at it for a solid week and just doing my own thing.
Yeah.
So
well, you've got a community that really cares about you, and sounds like it was doing a lot of, you know, self-care over the the kind of like the days that you took off, and you know, the probably people just needed to process and
yeah,
be
if
able
there's
to.
one person, if there's like one group of people in all of this that I'm most proud of, it's got to be the mods involved. Like my mod team, and the former mod team, have been like they like basically autonomously took every step to like not allow it to be pounced upon as possible by like turfs, by all these different groups. Like beyond respect for, like, again, I have a huge amount of course, as always, I have a huge amount of respect for my mods, and my mod team and everybody involved in my community. And my community has been thriving, even despite all this stress. But yeah, so there's some really good people, and I'm very, very happy for that. And also, I've gotten quite a lot of support behind closed doors and whatnot, which is great.
Yeah.
It was a little, I will admit, like, it was a little bit frustrating that like basically no one reached out to even hear my side of the story at all. Like they just immediately were just like, yeah, let's get everybody on here. Let's get Riley on and have her say all the absolutely unhinged, totally inaccurate bullshit that she did.
Right.
But whatever. Like it is what it is. People are gonna make the decisions they want to make. People got to make a fucking got to make a living, got to make a buck. So sure, whatever. I'm not that bothered. And at the end of the day, like it was very. I will say, like the experience was incredibly unpleasant. But it's March now, and I got other things to do. I got
Yeah.
other shit to work. I got a community to take care of and imps to entertain. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah. No, you get like a whole community to that's growing there, and that's like very like supportive, and that's how you can tell that you got something
Because it was so peaceful
real.
here, but now there are
Sorry,
freaking
I mean, it's
communists
true. Like the
invading my
cool
alert.
thing is that
Stepping right
like
over me.
oh, that's fine.
Go ahead.
I've made a definitive effort to build my own community that isn't like reliant on other streamers, and that's been very difficult. It's had its downsides. But as a plus side, you know, there is people come for my show. They don't come for me to talk about the latest thing that somebody else did. Well, I mean, I guess if you really want to go to the big picture, I do talk about politics a lot, which is
Mm-hmm.
usually people doing something and then I'm reacting to that and whatever.
Yeah.
But there's like a lot of stuff that like I do a lot of original content. I do a lot of original content
A
and
lot of
original debates, and people,
investigation, a lot of
yeah, the drama mamas and all that, and it's
yeah.
really fun. And actually, we got a drama mama coming up here sometime this week, so that'll be really fun
Nice.
too.
Nice, nice.
And two debates, and yeah, we've been having a good time. And my video gaming streams. So again, like I'm happy that like my community is like it's not like it's very interconnected, but it's not like a single group of people are like flood into my community and make it happen. It's like it's people come for me, and that's
Right.
really inspiring and really flattering. And it it inspires me to keep making my own stuff that's made for the imps. I make it for them so that they can have a good time,
Yeah,
and
yeah, and you can definitely tell
I can
that
get my
in
word out there and whatever.
yeah, in all aspects of your, creative process, from the thumbnails that Gina makes to,
Gina's a god tier thumbnail maker.
Oh yeah, no, I love her art style. It's really cool.
Yep. Yeah, so yeah, myself, but also like the people who I have brought on to work with me have a lot of their own distinct style, and I really like that. That's something I've encouraged and always wanted to do. And yeah, so
No, you're definitely your own thing, and I love that you're able to grow through this despite the best efforts of people to, shut down your voice and silence
yeah, I
you.
mean, there have been a lot of people. That was one of the things that was most annoying about all this, is that like quite literally, the from the very top of this entire drama has been this call that I need to be silenced, that I need to be deplatformed, that I should not be allowed, that I should be blacklisted, that I should, my platform should be removed, which is to me completely absurd. Completely absurd. And of course the justifications for it are absurd, but even like the outcome is just ridiculous to me. And that's something that I haven't been able to square. And I wonder how other people do square that, how they make that make sense. Because my conclusions from it are not particularly positive for those who've been putting out this type of message. It makes me wonder what's actually going on inside their head and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I guess at the end of the day, it's going to come down to the audience, and there's definitely an audience for some of that sort of thing. A lot of people watch that video. A lot of people watch the video of me and of me being talked about by two streamers who apparently decided that it was appropriate to say a lot of fucking things that I think were beyond out of line, both from asserting like with no questions asked that I am a transphobe, to asserting that I hadn't thought about gender enough, to asserting that I am a danger to women and to trans people, to all of this shit. I just really wonder what's going on in the heads of people who are like consuming that content and then also concluding like, yes, this is rational, this is the truth, you know. It
Mm-hmm.
makes me, it reminds me, I don't know, I don't want to speculate too much, but I'm
Yeah.
just gonna say I don't have a whole lot of positive conclusions
No,
from
no, no. And I
that
don't
sort of
like
shit.
this new form of debating where, like, it seems like the meta now is to make a really spicy take that sounds indefensible and to attract someone in to, like, oh, I'll take that debate. Yeah, I want to debate you on that. And then the person comes in and debates them and they move it back, or their positions, they're like, first of all, let me say, the definitions of words are not what you think they are, because I'm using this word like this and I'm using this word like this, and if you like twist, if you blur your eyes together enough, then it makes perfect sense, and you're like, all right, that's kind of a weird flex or whatever. But then like when they get into that trap and then they don't come out so well and it doesn't look good for them, their response then is to cry wolf and to cry bad faith actor and to, like, you know, assert that you've said something about them that you never said, to put words in your mouth that you never
the
spoke.
opposite of what you said, like, which has been the case, like the literal opposite of what was. It's just, there's no desire for truth. There's no, that's one thing I've discovered, and this is why I just having begun, like, originally, like, of course, now for context, like, my channel's not that big. I've objectively am a successful streamer at this point. I've crossed the thresholds that make you, like, most people don't ever get here. I know I'm in like the top 1% or whatever of streams. Very proud of that, but, like, to be completely real, that doesn't mean that your community is very big. The you know, streaming is an industry that's, like, very polarized. There's a handful of, like, hyper successes, and then everybody else doesn't make it at all. You just
Mm-hmm.
eventually burn out. So I've made it, like, into that area where it's like, yep, I've crossed a lot of the, like, thresholds that most people never make it to, but I'm not really at the point where I'm a mega stream. Maybe I will be someday. I highly doubt that, but it might happen. And but for now, that's not the case. For now, my channel is rather small. And so for a while, you know, I tried to make a good effort to respond to messages that were given to me, to make an attempt at like that. And I'm just done with that now. The number of responses that I give out on YouTube is like probably like less, like a percent of what I, like 1% of what I was previously giving out. I used to try to make a genuine effort to respond to all comments that weren't obviously like hate comments, like you're fucking ugly or whatever. Anything that was like even remotely good faith, I would try to make an effort to respond to, you know, to, like, you know, because people took the time to write a comment. Nah, fuck that shit. Like, that ship sailed like 2 weeks
Yeah.
ago. It's just you know, it's, so at this point, it's just most comments, unfortunately, even positive ones, I just don't even bother. I don't look at them all. I do try to respond to some of the, like, the most notable ones where people put a lot of effort in, but it's just not realistic anymore.
Yeah.
And then likewise, like, my Twitter became useless for 2 weeks.
Oh
Um,
God.
and yeah, completely and utterly useless. Sorry if I missed. I apologize to many people if I missed notifications. I probably missed quite a lot. But yeah, it was completely useless. Couldn't even. You just can't sort the notifications. You can't do anything.
Oh, I
Um,
see what. Yeah, yeah, that makes
so yeah,
sense.
it's been a very weird thing, and it's weird to me that, like, I have become like such. I have become like the subject of such ridiculous vitriol when it, like, it doesn't match up to the scope. Like, my channel is comparatively microscopic to somebody like, you know, Destiny. But apparently it's bad enough that, like, I need to be burnt off the internet or whatever. It's very weird to me. This whole thing is just very weird to me. And I don't really get it. So whatever. I guess maybe I should take it as flattering that people see me as such a danger threat, but I just really wish it didn't involve like such, like I don't know, like, some of the arguments that have been weighed against me have a lot of like Joe Biden is a Chinese communist energy, you know? Like, it's just like, do you really believe this? Like, is
Oh yeah,
this
there's
really
some
what
that are
you believe, or-
contradictory. Yeah, it's weird. It's
Yeah.
weird. One week you're a tanky, and then the next week you're a woke scold, and it's like just
Yeah,
like
exactly.
okay, what's
I'm
next?
a screeching blue-haired SJW, the worst example of a trans activist that you could possibly believe. Even though I've literally never sold myself as an activist, I'm very open about being a political edutainment channel. Literally never tell people like this is not a news channel. This is not like a activism channel. I want to do interesting content that you might learn something from, and then go learn more on your own. Like yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever, like people, I've discovered that people have like they live in their own whole world that they write based on what they consume, and they're not really a lot of people, and there are some who aren't like this, but there's a lot of people out there, especially in these communities, it seems like, who just have no interest in truth whatsoever. They don't care even in the slightest. They don't care about the facts. They don't care about what happened. They just want to have another stream to watch where they get to laugh at somebody they think they don't like, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's the be all end all at the end of the day for a lot of people, which is like, okay, sure.
Yeah, it's like they've got these like shadow elements to themselves that they can't really deal with, and so they end up like creating these, characters. Like they'll it's like they've got this like, idea, and they make it stick to somebody. And it's like, that person might have like, just one thing in common with the thing that they're, their projection, right? And they'll just be like, oh yeah, no, that's clearly, and they stop looking at you. They stop paying attention to what you say. They don't even hear you. They're like, it's like their own imagination is like running the show, and like, it doesn't matter what you say at that point.
You become just a cardboard cutout.
Yeah.
That they see you and they identify your face, they identify your voice, and then they go, and they have to run all these calculations, and they're just like, yes, SJW, harm to women, transphobe, like Holocaust denier or some shit, random shit that they make
up.
My God. And there's nothing you can do
to me the tanky thing, the latest thing?
The tanky. Oh, yeah. Actually, it's really funny.
I was like, how
fun fact, last night I had a talk with that guy again, the guy who made that video on me, J-Derv.
Oh God, yeah.
It was actually hilarious. The conversation was great. I highly recommend you go watch it, because that was a conversation with a guy who knew I had his fucking number.
Nice.
And it was actually because of that, like the act kind of dropped a little bit, and we were able to have like an actual conversation that was fun. I think personally, I think J-Derv is funny. I just really wish that like J-Derv would like, it's just too much. It's too much dishonesty. It's like, it could be like a fun like Vic Berger kind of like, I'm gonna make a ridiculous like vaguely true but ultimately like heavily edited like goofy shit, but instead it just becomes like complete misinfo. But anyway, he was mad. This J-Derv fellow was really fucking mad about me screaming at this vegan lady who did a video about how
unnatural vegan.
Yeah, you know who it is. Yeah. So and there's this part in the video. There's a part in the video where she does the Black Book of Communism meme where she's like, if communism is so good, then how come every communist country killed 1 million people? And then it like goes on the screen and it like plays it shows like a bunch of contextless images like shooting across the screen of various like bad things happening. Like some of them are like one of them is like a bunch of like sad Russians like carrying big packages down a dirt road in black and white. There's like a bunch of this stuff. Apparently one of those was from the Holodomor. And so I was laughing at the fact that like you're just showing random, like it's like you went on Google and went bad things happening and then like put those up on the screen, and it was just like, oh, Russia, bad thing happening, bad thing happening, bad thing. Look at what happened. It's like contextless brain soup nonsense that's like Fox News tier. So I was making fun of that. But apparently one of the images or two of the images or something was from the Holodomor. And so me laughing at that became the impetus for a claim that I was a Holodomor denier, which is ridiculous, like silly. And then that spun out into a bunch of other accusations about being a tanky, even though it's like literally you got the wrong stereotype. Like if you wanted to go for anything, you could like say I'm like an anarchitty or some stupid shit like
That's
that.
the real.
But even that is like a stretch because I don't even really strongly identify with like any of these titles.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was very weird, and it was a big reach. And anyway, it only really stuck to like 2 people. I think there were like 2 dumb shits in Destiny's audience who like picked up that line, but everybody else saw that and was just like, okay, this is like obvious bullshit.
What
But
I
that's where it
do
came from.
with the most ridiculous things that people say about me is I meme that shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're going to make some easily disprovable claim about me, I'm going to keep that as a trophy and I'm going to show it to other people. And whenever people are talking shit about me, like, I'm going to be like, oh yeah, like I'm the way that I'm that Canadian alt-right streamer, like Tolvo said. And it's just kind of like, cause like there's some shit like that tanky shit. I know DemonMama. I've heard you like, you know, argue with people that believe these things. Like it's so ridiculous to be trying to hang that on her. It's so, if you know anything about her,
it's really ridiculous. And that's the thing. But like, also like, I wish that like reclaiming these like things would work, but like it would probably work for the tanky thing. I could probably like meme that one up because it's so ridiculous. But like with some of the other ones, like the transphobe shit, there's a lot of people who actually unironically believe that now. Like they're unironically like, oh, DemonMama is like a self-hating like pawn of TERFs and a transphobe. And I'm like, how do you even come to this conclusion? But people do. People believe that now because, I mean, and I know how it is. It's because of misinfo. It's because of like ridiculously stupid misinfo that never gets countered. And people are just very confident in the consumption of this misinfo.
Yeah, they're too
honestly, it reminds me of Fox News.
About their, it's like when they trust a source so much because they consider the source to almost be like, you know, part of their like friend group, like, or something like that.
God, that they would like literally do anything for, including who cares anymore what the truth is, as long as you get approval from the one on high, the God Emperor Trump kind of thing, right?
Well, I think it's just that like they don't want to think of the fact that somebody like that could lead them wrong, because that opens up a whole box of worms. Maybe it feels good to have somebody that you think is like, you know, so smart. Maybe it feels good. Maybe it's comforting in some way. I tend to think that's what parasociality comes from, is like something that you're missing, a person, a relationship that you're missing in your own life. And then somehow you see a person that exemplifies that on this thing right here that you're watching us both on. I want you to be aware we're breaking the fourth wall right now. We're breaking through there to free you from your parasocial chains, because you don't need that shit. And we don't need you to be stuck there. Look, we're powerful entities in and of our own. We don't need to use parasocial Jedi mind tricks on you to get you to, you know, do things. Hey, I want you to tell me if I'm posting cringe, okay? Because I'm afraid of what happens if I don't get that feedback from somebody. I'm afraid of where I could go, you know, if I don't have an audience that kind of keeps me real and keeps me honest and checks in with me and isn't afraid to call me out. Like, I mean, as much as it hurts, as much as it sucked in that Vivian thing when, like, you know, I turned back to the spicy chat and, like, a portion of you were like, really sympathetic to Vivian. Like, you know, I don't want to lose that connection. I don't want to push you away. I don't want to, like, you know, start...
I mean, the thing is, like, I don't know, in most conversations that you have, it's really, really easy to just disagree. It's, like, really easy to be like, okay, I see where you're coming from. I don't really agree with you. Okay, whatever. And then you solve it. But that can't happen when it's like the fever pitch that this type of thing is. There's no desire for that.
No, I wasn't comparing your your situation is totally different.
Like, I think it's great when like I get feedback and corrections from my audience all the time. Like, it happens literally all the time, and I go, oh, okay, cool, thanks, and then we go bit and it just moves on. But there's certain circumstances on the internet that just that can't happen because that's not actually what's going on. Even though there's a veneer that like that's what's supposed to be happening, it's not.
Yeah. Well, like when somebody else burns the bridge, there's not much you can do, right? And sometimes that's not obvious to the audience out there, right? Of like who's burnt the bridge or who's done what, because there's all kinds of obfuscation that gets thrown up. But you know, there's like, you know, there's times when.
Well, you know, it would really help if people wouldn't lie, but you know, they do. So, but I don't know. That's the thing that frustrates me is like, one of the things, again, the thing that frustrates me so much is like, is engaging with someone who you think is honest and then finding out that they just don't care. They're willing to lie. Like they're willing to just straight up lie. And that is like, you know, I don't know. That's straight up a lot of what has happened here. And I wish it had, it's regretful that it has happened that way, but that's the way that it has. So what am I supposed to do? Just not tell the truth and just be like, no, yeah, actually it is true. It's, maybe they meant well when they called me a transphobe who hasn't thought about gender enough before transition. Like, no, fuck that shit. Like, I'm not going to just like, I don't know. Yeah.
No, you definitely got to stand up for yourself.
If people tell lies, like they're lying. Like, it's just as simple as that. It's not a matter of like, it gets to a point where like, in this particular circumstance, to like wrap it back around to what we've been talking about, like in this particular circumstance, like people can think whatever they want about the initial debate, but everything that followed after that was just completely out of like so far out of left field and so ridiculous and so impossible to negotiate with that it almost doesn't even matter what we were talking about originally at all. Like, it's just, there's no connection to reality anymore. And this is, I don't know, it's been frustrating and exhausting, to be completely honest. But
definitely. Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird when you don't consider yourself to be like a drama person to get kind of like pushed into that space and like hear that from other people that like, it's like I wasn't trying to do drama. I was trying to have an important conversation.
I wasn't even trying to do that. Like, that's another part of the context that like wasn't even.
Wait,
like,
yeah, it was more cash than that, right?
It was like literally there was nothing. Not only had, first of all, there was no scheduling whatsoever. Like, Riley showed up in my chat and was like, because I was joking. I've been joking lately. Like, I want to fucking debate conservatives. And I kept saying, I want to debate conservatives. And because I keep not getting to conservative debates. I'm tired of debating lefties. And so, I was joking about that. And then Riley showed up. He's like, I've got a take for you to debate. And was like, oh, furries don't deserve rights or whatever. And I was like, get the fuck on here. We made like a big joke about it. And then of course it went into the Godzilla debate. And then like at the tail of this, it randomly turned into this discussion about gender. And I was like, okay, like I didn't like, we hadn't scheduled this. I don't have any materials prepped. So I'm just going back through and talking about it. And I don't know, like, so yeah, it wasn't even that. It wasn't even like I was trying to have like any sort of serious conversation. Of course I'm always willing to engage in that, but that's not what happened. And like, it was presented all the way through with this sort of like framing of an assumption that this was like a scheduled conversation or whatever.
Yeah, because the way she did it, it made it seem like a totally segment.
Offhand. Yeah, it was just random, like just completely and utterly random. So I don't know. Again,
and if you watch Emily's VOD, that's that much is clear.
Go watch the VOD. It's up now. I took it down I took it down afterwards because I was just like, I broke the links to it because the general consensus in my community was like, hey, this is going to get like, regardless of who's right, this is going to get used by like TERFs and shit, people who hate both of your communities to cause shit. And so I was like, yeah, you're right. Let's take this fucking shit down. It's not worth it. We'll schedule another one and sort it out or whatever. And then I found out I was blocked. And then from there, it was just like somebody decided to fucking red button it.
And if the concern from Riley was that she came off looking, a certain way that she didn't feel represented her, like that should have been enough of a remedy for that to allay those concerns, right? Like you were doing, you were absolutely not trying
that wasn't
to
even talked about. Like that was never, nobody even bothered to ask if that was the case. Like it was just the narrative was assumed to be being told honestly. I don't know. There's like a lot of fucking shit. There's been a lot of disinfo in all of this. And that makes me, frustrated. But again, there's only so much I can do about it. You know what I mean? Like people have their, like 100, like I don't even know at this point what the view count is, but somewhere in the ballpark of like 80,000 people plus saw the video that Destiny did about me, which was just full of like no context and just made all these assumptions about like, oh yeah, this is like DemonMama showed up to cause an argument about gender. And it's like, no, actually none of that is true. Like you've made assumptions about how this unfolded and you've read in the most uncharitable interpretations you could imagine. But whatever. Again, they don't care. Nobody cares about the truth. They've already made their conclusions. I'm bad and should be destroyed. So there you go.
Well, I'm sorry if I didn't reach out sooner than I did.
I don't think you did anything wrong. In fact, I really appreciated you uploading both sides of the debate like that. Like I actually, I saw that. I was like, wait a minute. I saw the thumbnail. And I was like,
yeah, that's me.
Did Irene re-upload my debate? And I was like, what the fuck? And then I clicked on it. I'm like, oh shit, you stitched them together. And I was like, oh fuck, that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I would really care. Like, obviously, I don't want people to re-upload my stuff like directly, but like that was like super, super, super awesome.
Just so you're listening, chat, don't make a Demon Mama clips, like, you know.
Yeah, please. Just talk to me about it. I'll help you. But
right.
But yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's just
well, yeah, that was what I was thinking too, because like what happened was the second video that I did on YouTube on that was actually where I made the first video, and basically I was putting it in there into the, you know, editing software so I could see both, you know, of your faces at the same time, you know, so for me to be able to, like, because I had watched the debate, but I had watched it from your side, and then I thought about like, okay, well now I'll watch it from Riley's side, and I was like, wait a minute, but like, what if I could make it the best of both worlds?
Yeah,
so yeah, that's what
I appreciate that idea came. Nobody saw, almost no one, like as far as sheer numbers, almost no one saw that side of it. Almost no one did.
Yeah,
because obviously I'm at a disadvantage when it comes to that. My audience who watched it live saw it, but because I took it down, that was taken advantage of to run away with the narrative and sell this completely other bullshit narrative, which is in fact very infuriating to me.
Right.
Like looking back on it, I'm more angry. Like at the time I was just like, God, this sucks. This fucking sucks. But now I'm like looking back, I'm like, God, I really got fucking done dirty in this whole fucking shit. But whatever, you know, if I wanted to make a big stink about that, it would come at a cost, which means that I would perpetuate what they want, which is more free content. And so at the end of the day, I just have to kind of swallow the fact that it was really unfair and move forward, and you know, maybe have a conversation or two like this. But for the most part, it's been just one side of the narrative completely and utterly pushed forward without any challenge whatsoever.
Yeah, and that's what sucks, is that the 80,000 view video is the one that's got just Riley and the video
also
game.
Commentary from somebody
and
who
also
admittedly
framing.
wants me to die. Like
framing from a certain Pepe Ladi.
Yeah. Yep. So very, very interesting thing. I will say I certainly learned a lot from this entire endeavor. Definitely learned a lot. So
what have you watched his like latest? He's been doing more and more gender takes lately, fighting with.
No, because I don't give a fuck. Like I've seen a few clips here and there. I've seen some clips of some of the stuff that he's saying. But quite honestly, it feels like a toddler like trying to put together blocks on top of each other with a topic that they're not engaging with in good faith, and they're not like they're just trying to like work backwards from like, how do I justify this giant cancellation that I just did that some people are having issues with? How do I justify this post hoc? That's what it feels like to me. So maybe not. Maybe
I mean, it's not. Yeah, it's. I mean, like, I don't know. I try to steelman the fuck out of everyone, but like the downside of that is like once you run out of steelmans with me, you're kind of fucked, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if you're referring to like a specific take. I don't know. I have heard people have said that like Destiny came out as non-binary, and to that I would say, hey, congratulations.
Me too. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I would say, yeah, they are a dumb fuck. So there you go. Sorry, I shouldn't say
still
that.
using he/him pronouns.
Sorry,
but yeah, he is
still a dumb fuck. He's a non-binary dumb fuck. There you go.
Yeah. And it's not an issue. It doesn't break our minds. We're not you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like
I
anyway.
know that was like, listen, like I get it. Like there was a little bit of like the pepeing, you know, like haha pepeing, you know. But hey, you know what? I genuinely believe that if that, like, I know how liberating that can be. So good.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. There's all and the off chance or whatever, you know, it's like there's no harm in just like, you know, like, we're fucking consistent here.
I do wonder if he'll keep his
here.
own standards though. Like, I wonder if he'll keep his own the standards he held for me. I wonder if he would make sure that he's done enough thinking. Like, you know, the standards that he gave out for me, you know, I just wouldn't want that to happen anyway.
For sure. Definitely. Well, thank you so much for coming on here, DemonMama. It's been super nice talking to you and catching up and getting your side of the story, especially considering how, you know, the narrative that got pushed was so far from the truth. And I did what I could to kind of, you know, set the story straight and at least give, if people want to, the video's up there.
The thing is, I don't, just so you know, like, I don't expect anyone to to like come in and go to bat for me. Like I am capable of defending myself.
Yeah.
I am a little frustrated that like shows that are kind of like trying to cover the story don't actually cover it. Like they're just like, I'm gonna just go talk to whoever I think will generate the most clicks. Like I think that that's kind of like an irresponsible way to cover the story, but at the end of the day it's like fucking whatever, you know, like it's Twitch. Like we don't exactly have very good journalistic standards on Twitch, let's be completely honest. Or
ethics and Twitch journalism on the next no comment check.
Exactly.
Yeah, there we go.
Exactly, that's the next thing up. But it's just kind of like, it's one of those things where it's like you know, I don't expect any of that. Like, but I do appreciate it when people are like, hey, maybe I'm not being told every detail about this that could change the way that like I'm concluding this, especially in a situation where so much of it is up in the air with regard to charitability. Like, there's a lot of sort of extrapolation has been done based on assumptions about what I was trying to say or what I was saying or whatever that aren't actually like based at all on like any objective truth or wording or anything. They're just making a presumption about what they conclude about me. And that's just an internal charitability calculation. And if you have no charitability, then well, there you go. You know, see, so it would be nice if like there was some, you know, a bigger attempt to be like, hey, maybe we should grant just a drop of charitability and see if there's a little more to this. But whatever.
Yeah, especially if your community prides itself on, you know, staying true to, you know, the cognitive process and not, you know, relying on inductive logic, actually, you know, pursuing all these things to their logical end and finding out the truth, right? Or some semblance thereof, you know, the closest we can get to the truth. That's kind of what, like, you know, that's my imperative, right? Is that if somebody's being lied about, I want to expose those lies.
Yeah, and I appreciate that the truth seekers calling. It's a good thing. Also, I mean, like I don't know what your schedule is looking like, but if you want to do questions from chat or whatever, I'm totally open to that. I have
chat. Do you have some questions for DemonMama?
Yeah, I'm totally fine.
I'm actually open for this one. Yeah, this is gonna be the Bird Brains slot going forward. But yeah, for this, I'm kind of rebooting it on Monday instead of Friday. So, but nice. Yeah, we don't have a panel scheduled for tonight. So yeah, we actually do have time for questions. Okay, so chat, I'm going to ask you to highlight your messages if you want to ask a question, and if you don't have enough channel points, ask one of the mods, and they will relay your question to me, and I will relay it to DemonMama. So DemonMama, how do you get such nice hair?
Honestly, I'm gonna be completely honest. It's just luck. For the most part, vast majority of it is just luck. I happen to have like very fine hair that is pretty manageable. Although I mean, I do try to take relatively good care of my hair. You know, I don't like shampoo like a crazy amount so it doesn't get super dried out. And I do use conditioner regularly, like very gentle conditioner, but it's nothing special. Like it's just not overdoing it, not like tearing the shit out of it with like harsh shampoos, and then using conditioner regularly. And I also don't like I've been blow drying my hair more lately, but it actually does make it a little bit more dry. But for most of my life, I just air dried my hair most of the time, and that helps. So
nice.
Yeah.
Oh God, I wish I could air dry. When I air dry, mine's a mess.
Yeah.
Shuffle Kitty wants to know, why do you still believe in 17th century Anglo-Saxon metaphysics?
Why do I believe in 17th century Anglo-Saxon metaphysics? Do I? I wasn't even aware.
I think according to the infrared people, all of our
infrared.
Our lib takes come from Saxony, maybe.
Saxony. Oh, okay.
They're all relatable
I don't know
to.
That I do. I really didn't know that I did. Maybe I do. Maybe I'm up to being educated on why I do believe.
I think we all need to be re-educated. So. Yeah, definitely. According to the
exactly.
Gorilla Gang. Yeah, definitely. They were in my chat last night. So that was actually for the past 2 nights I've been dealing with the Gorilla Gang. So that's been really fun getting to know them. But yeah, it was.
The gorilla emotes. There we go.
Oh God, we got the gorilla in the sun. The gorilla in the sun.
I know. So I've got half my community wants me to talk to Infrared, and the other half doesn't. But guess what? None of their opinions matter because
You
the
need
only
to be
thing that matters is
paid.
cold hard cash, baby.
Listen.
If Infrared wants to come on, 175. I'm sorry, 195, and we're good to go.
Yeah, Infrared. You got to know that like when you start paying people. People know that people are going to expect a payment. You know what I mean? This is how the mafia works, okay? You know, you start paying for protection, you're not going to get out of that shit. You know, come on, Infrared. What are you thinking here? The price is just going to go up. You know, like listen, once people know they can get money out of you.
195 is nothing. You'll get so much gold content out of me. It'll be great.
I think it's probably worth your while. Yeah, I would. Yeah, like, you know, so if Infrared, if you're looking for a good value, a good bang for your buck, definitely.
195 is all you got to pay.
Right. We should do an infomercial for Infrared.
Yeah, exactly. I'll do an infomercial for that for sure.
Do you understand? So they got banned.
We'll finance the imps for another week.
Oh my God. 7-day ban right from Twitch was what the fallout from the Sonsol Dylan thing. And then are they legal on YouTube, or did they get banned there too?
Oh, I have no clue. I have no clue.
Yeah, I didn't even hear the
all the time.
Threats of violence or whatever actually got. Okay, so another chatter wants to know when are you joining the Infrared gang?
When am I joining the Infrared gang? As soon as I get my check for 195.
Come on, Infrared, make it rain. Your thoughts on Huey Newton's take on the scientific method, how we're all ultimately subjective, that we cannot remove something from the conditions surrounding it and find accurate observations and put theory into practice. We must acknowledge this.
I tend to believe that, well, I mean, I just think it's a fact of reality that, like, we cannot, science is ultimately filtered through our senses. We can only interact with the world through inherently subjective means. So, for example, we aren't machines, and not even if we were machines, we would still be limited to whatever devices allow us to contemplate the world. And those are, potentially flawed. Like, for example, you know, we you know, our sense of touch, our sense of taste, our sense of smell, our vision can be totally messed up. Our sense of hearing can have issues. We are subject to, even in some extreme cases, hallucinations. Now, there are ways to, like, further verify the truth, but there is a point where we have to acknowledge that at the end of the day, we are ultimately, everything that we take in, everything that we determine is subjective. And that should give us, in my opinion, a certain level of humility and a certain limit to how hard we're willing to claim objectivity on anything. And I think that, like, again, like, basically, I'm not aware of any serious modern philosophers or thinkers that I know of who, like, would argue against the idea that, like, we're not, like, creatures of subjectivity, and that most of our systems aren't ultimately subjective. But that doesn't mean that, like, nothing matters and that science doesn't matter. Science is very, very useful, and truth seeking is unbelievably valuable. It's just that we have to know that there is a line. There is a line that we can't cross, which is that our minds exist as the result of a physical medium that is potentially flawed, that is very flawed, that can be totally compromised, in fact. And we have to recognize that. And it sucks to be uncertain, but it's just a fact. So yeah.
Yeah, no, like, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, like, no matter how many levels of simulation we're experiencing right now, I mean, you're still real, right, chat? We're having this conversation, right? So we're both here, right? Like, it's not like I'm some kind of a mathematical function talking to you or something like that. I'm a real person, and so are you. Yeah, so the mathematical function inside me recognizes the mathematical function inside you, chat. All praise the algorithm. All praise the algorithm.
There's a great game that touches on this subject. It's called Pathologic 2, and you should play it if you're interested in those sort of things.
That sounds like fun. Yeah, no, absolutely. That sounds like a lot of fun. Oh, wait, we got more questions for you here. How did the slandering affect the growth of your channel?
It's honestly probably a little too early to tell if it has. I mean, we've had a slowing of subs, and our stream numbers have not been growing to the same degree, but it's really hard to tell if that is a matter of if that is a product of it being February, or if it's a direct result of like the slander and stuff. Now, with regard to like my personal experience of YouTube, it's basically made it trash because like the video that I put out, okay, so there's a few things. I guess there's a few ways I can handle this. So I took a week off of streaming because I couldn't focus on anything because there was so much shit going on. Um, like that. So that did impact me. Obviously, not doing 3 streams is 3 days of not getting paid for work and 3 days of not being in the algorithm. It also meant that there was a delay on my posting schedule. So I don't know how much. It's very hard to tell. That's like the direct effect, I guess. The second effect, of course, when I did finally put out my video, that video has a fuckload of views and a fuckload of comments on it, like literally thousands of comments, most of which are horrible. So makes my comments segment completely useless. And that sucks. It also got like brigaded really hard. We had to lock down the Discord for well over a week because there was multiple attempts to brigade the Discord. And we did get a lot of people who had to be banned. We had people come in spamming the N-word, stuff like that. That those people were banned. Thankfully, it wasn't like we have enough like my server, I have like an admin that I trust and work with, and we have a whole team of mods. So we had things in place to prevent severe like raiding and hijacking of the Discord in the long run. So on that front, like the my cybersecurity is good and fine. But it did suck that we had to lock it down, and some people will always find a way to break through the cracks. And then we have had a bit of a slowing in sub growth. Earlier this month, we were on like a massive roll, mostly because I was doing like a lot of fresh content that had to do with relevant stuff, like my drama mama on the Joss Whedon situation. I did 2 really huge debates in a row, one with the absolute legends Trihex and Hutch, and one with the other absolute legend Vosh. That was the same week, got a huge amount of growth there. And since then we've had some, slowdown because there's been such a distraction from being able to focus on the content. And also people have not been going to watch those videos because the algorithm gets bent to anything that has to do with the drama, and whatever. And that's terrible. And I don't care because they don't stick around. So it's stupid. It's kind of, I don't know. I don't know the exact extent, but those are the ways that it's affected the channel. And hopefully it won't affect the growth in the long run. I don't think it will really. Something that I've learned about this sort of drama bait, or like this drama baity type of content, like when people try to do this, most of the viewers don't stay around. They come for the drama and they don't even subscribe. Like most of the people who commented on the video were not subscribers of mine, because you can see this stuff in
Oh,
YouTube.
I see what
They're
you're
not
saying.
subscribers
So,
of mine.
so you're talking
They've
about
never watched
that video that's got what, 20K views on it now? The video that you
mine
made?
does not have anything. Mine has like, actually, I don't know. Let me see. Let me tell you how much it is. I can actually get you this info real quick. Hold on. My video just talking about the drama, like not actually, just literally stating for the record what happened and what my views were. Let me actually find out real quick. I can give you the info on how much my video had on it.
But that's what you meant as far as people coming and not staying was...
Yeah, they don't stay. This one was it was a bit back. It has, oh wow, I guess it does actually have almost that many. It has 14,000 views on it right now, 1,200 comments, and then of course,
oh yeah, that'll do 20K.
comment, so it's like, quite a lot of views, and like thousands of like dislikes, well over 1,000 dislikes. So this video, but they don't watch anything else. The only, in this case, they do watch one other thing, which is that they did go and watch my previous debate.
Oh, Scrub King?
With the Scrub King. Not that one. They watched the one with Destiny because, they're looking for Destiny DemonMama drama. And so they find that one. And then they just put another identical negative comment on that one and then never watch anything else. So it's interacting with and even responding to the drama outside of again, my video is not monetized or anything. The only thing I really wanted to do was have an opportunity to give my side of the story to some degree. And other than that, it's not given me anything. It's been a giant waste of my time. And they don't stick around. They don't contribute to the content at all. They just come in to fucking cause shit and then they leave. And I don't know. So yeah, sorry, that was a long answer, but I wanted to give like an honest and total, like, experience
No,
of
I
what
feel that it's frustrating how much people are there for the drama and not for the important things you have to say.
Well, I mean, even if they would just check out a few others, they might find they like some of my content, but
Right?
that doesn't
Yeah.
really happen. Yeah. Yep.
How can you give us more? They want more details on the. This is a community member that I told them about the imps code, and they're curious about the M. They want to go in depth on the M.
Yeah.
The meme and cream.
So memes. Okay. So two things that do really, really well on Twitter are memes and creams. And when I say creams, I mean like horny posting, basically. Now, you have to do that responsibly. Obviously, I don't recommend mixing business and horny posting unless horny posting is your business. But both of these things are really successful on Twitter. They just do unbelievable numbers, and therefore they will get people to follow your account. They will get people to retweet your stuff. You'll get a lot of interaction, which weights your account in the algorithm. So memes and creams are fucking really good for you.
You might get booped. You might get a snoot boop once in a while. You might get put in horny jail on the rare occasion, but mostly.
You might, but most of the time that's not the case.
Yeah, mostly.
And the thing is, like, people, the memes on Twitter are great. Like, for the most part, there's some fucking good ass memes.
I mean, Twitter's really kind of for that sort of. I feel like that's the level that you should be engaging on.
Yeah, like, and that's why I have the M's in there, because the M in there is because it's like, hey, you will have fun if you just meme and cream on Twitter. Like, if you don't do anything else on Twitter, you can at least enjoy memes, people reposting memes, these great meme threads. Like last night, I was reading this fucking. Okay, so there's a couple of accounts I've really been enjoying on Twitter lately that are meme accounts. One of them is Insane People Tweets, which, pardon the ableism in the title, but Jesus Christ, that account is hilarious. It's just the most absurdist tweets, usually hyper aggressive people like going way like out of nowhere,
super
or
cursed
just
content.
Yeah, it's cursed, just ridiculously cursed content. And then there's another one that was called, the one that I was enjoying last night, which is called it is one of those bot aggregators that does like from Reddit, and it's an account that posts the titles of posts from two sentence horror stories, and they're just so bad, but it's so funny, and just to read them out of context, like see the title, and now those are good. That stuff succeeds on Twitter, and that's why meme and cream is in the imps code, because it's something that you will have fun with, and it's good for you on Twitter. Basically, the imps code is not, like I've said this many times, it's not a moral code, it's a handbook on how to use Twitter better. And have more fun on Twitter, personally, because now I have recognized now that there are some limits to it. It cannot make the Twitter experience 100% good. If you get the ire of a large community on your ass, you're not going to enjoy Twitter. It's just not going to be fun. You won't be able to use it because of the way Twitter is designed. However, for the general user, the imps code is more than enough. Yeah. So. Yep.
Definitely. They say. Yeah, I emphasize that, like, the idea is that, like, you the end game of the imps code is that if somebody really wants to get at you, they'll talk to you on stream, and then that makes content for you, right? Whereas, and you can have maybe a good discussion, maybe they came in bad faith, but they like actually listened to you. Maybe like, they had a point that you didn't realize, like there's all kinds of good things that can come out of the engagement when it happens on your stream. When the engagement happens on Twitter, holy shit, you might agree with the person and you're fucking tearing each other's faces off just because you're misunderstanding. That happens all the fucking time, and Twitter loves it. The algorithm loves it. They're like, yes, you're doing it for it. And if you're doing work for Twitter, guess what? Twitter's not working for you. It's working on you.
You won't make money off Twitter. You're not gonna fucking make any money off your Twitter posts. You have to remember, the discourse is not worth it. The thing is, discourse can't actually happen on Twitter, and I've talked about this many times. I don't want to bore everyone with it, but discourse Twitter is a discourse destruction machine. It won't happen. Even if you don't bring people to your channel or anything like that, you could just talk to them on Discord or in DMs, and it's like, holy shit, your life would be so much better if you just went for that instead of trying to sort things out on Twitter, because it will make you go crazy. Twitter is just so bad for any type of meaningful conversation. It just destroys context. It breaks things into unreadable threads. It's terrible. So yeah, there's two reasons for for that part of the IMPS code. It's just like, it's like, get it off Twitter, whether it's to put it to a more productive platform like Twitch, where you can Twitch or YouTube, where you can like, why not make money while you're just disagreeing over something and do so face to face instead of on Twitter. Whether it does that, or if it just gets you to talk about it in private in DMs, where you can actually have a real conversation that has a record, you know, that people can remember what was said. Either one of those is a good outcome in my book.
True. Let's see. Lace Argar says, I see in the background that Union's Amazon sign. Are you active in the Unionosphere?
I'm not super active in the Unionosphere right now, though. Last year I did go to a couple of demonstrations. One of them I got the sign at, and it was a really cool event, and it was very inspiring. So I've been keeping my my support for that up in the background. Plus, it's become kind of an iconic part of my stream background, so people like it. But yeah, I haven't really been super involved. I mean, because of COVID, I've just been basically hiding in my house for most of the year. But previous to COVID, there were some events that I went to, and I was involved with a couple of mutual aid groups in this area. But it's really hard to do so during COVID safely. And yeah, so yeah, that's the quick answer. But I am a little bit plugged into that sort of shit, and I am a member of a union, and so yeah.
Okay, the next question is that bear's head in the background, is that in case a golden Freddy attacks you?
It's actually in case actually it doesn't really have that much of a meaningful purpose. It's just the head from the cuddle team leader on Fortnite, and I did a stream where I played Fortnite, and I've always I used to play Fortnite a lot. And I have always played with the cuddle team leader skin since it came out because I love it. And so yeah, I decided, I found one cheap online that was like, it was from Spirit Halloween, and I was like, oh my god, this would be so funny as a gag on stream. And so I bought it on an impulse, and then slapped it on for a segment in which we were trying desperately to make the Trump impeachment hearings, I think it was the Trump impeachment hearings. Like, we were trying to make it desperately trying to make it entertaining because it was boring as shit, but also, you know, important to go through. And so yeah, I put on the head, and I was like talking about Nancy Pelosi with the fucking giant bear head on, and it was very silly, but we had fun. So yeah, I do appreciate the FNAF reference, but this one is technically from Fortnite. I wouldn't want to steal the valor of Fortnite.
Oh my god, I'm trying to find that Fortnite song. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Which one?
Something Fortnite, down to get down. Like,
I don't know that one.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know a Fortnite song?
I know the
meme song?
dances.
It's like a kid, like.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Default dance.
No, it's like a meme. It's like a meme song that people have been playing on streams and stuff. I never got into Fortnite. I suck at, like, I'm just afraid. Like, I never got into like the shooty games.
I see a good question, chat. Oh my god.
Oh, there's another good question. Do you wanna take that one, and I'll look for the next one?
I'll take that one. John Gazebo. You're wondering what me praying is? Hold on a second. I'll give you a special treat. Listen, just for you. This is just for you, John Gazebo. This is for you and the chat. The
spicy chat?
Comment chat. Hello, everyone. It is I, the unholy mackerel. And if you want to know what any of this means, you'll have to watch my videos. You can just look up Holy Mackerel on DemonMama's channel, and you'll find exactly what I'm talking about. But I am the unholy mackerel, which is better than the holy mackerel. So,
one step beyond, chat. One step beyond.
There you have it.
Have either of you read the?
Honestly, the whole thing was about there's this really wild Catholic cult, like extreme right-wing Catholic cult, and we discovered their channel a bit back. Somebody in my audience tipped me off on it, and then in our exploring of their content, we found out that they have like this like skit series that has to do with it's called like Holy Mackerel, and it's about a fish that will beat the shit out of you if you eat meat on Fridays, because Catholics aren't supposed to eat meat on Fridays. And as it turns out, like as time has gone on, we learned that like actually the person who makes the holy mackerel like videos is like pretty funny, and even though it's like ultimately in the service of like this horrible Christian cult, the skits themselves are quite hilarious. And so we found the exact masks that they use for holy mackerel, and you can actually see right over my shoulder here, holy cow, another one of the characters from the series, and we've made a whole thing out of it. Yeah. Oh, I did. I just put the mask on, Louis Vuitton. Don't you worry. But yeah. So, pretty fun. Yeah, we also have art of it that's been drawn. We in exploring the lore of this series, because there's 6 seasons of Holy Mackerel. We discovered that that like there's definitely some sexual tension between a couple of the characters, and we've made some art which you can see. I don't know how I will get this to your chat, but you can here, I'll send it to you and then we can go from there. Here, you can send this to your chat to see the fan art that we've made, and please like feel free to check out our videos on it. We have a couple of videos on it that are pretty funny. Yeah, Loney Mac, I see we got a Loney Mac fan in chat. Hell yeah. So we've had fun. Yeah.
So
oh yeah, we have Unholy Cow, which is my version.
Unholy Cow.
Yeah, I'm Unholy Mac, the Unholy Mackerel and the Unholy Cow are my versions of it, because you know obviously I don't want to.
You don't want to get into any of that holy stuff on you. Yeah, that stuff that burns.
Yeah,
I don't like it either.
Also, you know, I don't want to like, you know, encroach on their copyright.
True. That's a good point. Just put that on there and you should be fine. Have either of you read The Fourth World War Has Begun by Subcommandant Marcos? Oh my god, is this Posadism? It's
no, I don't know about that.
Not that wrong. I would highly recommend it. When you have free time, you can find it for free on the internet. That sounds like some Posadism, isn't it?
Is that Posadism stuff?
Chat, can you check on that for me? Is that
interesting?
Are there any dolphins on that? Are there any space comrades on that? Any space comrades in chat? Any sea comrades in chat?
I have at least one in my chat. And one in the administration of this.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's the Zapatistas? Interesting. Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah.
So good. Oh my god, thank you, chat. That was awesome. Are we getting sent Twitter links to react to?
Oh, that's the art that I was telling you that we made about. Yeah, it's Loney Mac. We made a ship between 2 of the characters in the
oh my god,
in the Holy Mac. Yeah, so it's quite good. I
wow.
highly recommend checking out my videos on it's much more enjoyable to watch with me in my chat than it is to just watch them straight. Plus you don't have to, if I do it, you don't have to wade through the horrible homophobic, xenophobic, transphobic bullshit on the rest of their website.
Oh, hey, DemonMama, this is the part of the interview where I asked you to hook me up with a bigger streamer that you may or may not know. So here's the ask. The ask is Mimsy from Snortling's Hollow. Can you get me Mimsy from Snortling's Hollow? Because I
don't know. I haven't covered that person yet.
Oh,
so
you haven't?
I wish, but I haven't yet.
You know who I'm talking about, though, right?
I could probably, I could probably provoke the people from the Church Militant, the Loney Mac people. I could probably provoke them into some sort of conflict, but also it might endanger my ability to get future content from them. So
ooh, yeah.
I don't know if I can do Snortling's Hollow,
yeah.
because I don't really know. But
I'm just trying to get that. Maybe
Hannah Reloaded. You might want to communicate with Hannah Reloaded or so.
Ooh, that's a good idea. Yeah, Hannah and Shu is the other one I know that's done some Snortling's Hollow actually done some content with Mimsy, I guess is her the puppet master behind Snortling's Hollow. But yeah, I've got a great idea for a debate with puppets. It's a lost episode of Bird Brains that I forgot that we shot with Non-Compete and the puppets, and I think that Mimsy was there too. It's like a dream that I just like had this big memories of dreams of memories. You know, it was like this weird kind of thing where it's like there but it's not there. You know, I like and so we're trying to rescue this
in like a
I left it somewhere.
It's
packed away somewhere in my room, and I haven't seen it since we moved groove. But we're going to get that lost episode out, and we're going to find that it happens to be all about Take My String. It happens to be, there's a very famous incident of someone doing a little bit of a Take My String super jump woman. I can't believe you'd call me an incel. Yeah, we're gonna see some cool shit with those puppets. So I've got the script ready to go, and hopefully that collab will be out, and you'll be able to see the lost episode and all the top. It's just like it's like ripped from the headlines or something. I don't know what's up with this shit, but it's pretty amazing.
Hey, sounds great. Yeah. So.
Oh, her main beef was with Jake. Is it Memsy?
That makes sense. Jake's a spicy boy with the heart of a cat.
Jake is so spicy. Yeah. I always forget how spicy he is until I watch his stream, and I'm like, whoa.
Spicy corn boy with the heart of a cat.
I just remember, did you ever watch the when they did the chick tracks together?
No, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that. I've heard that series is really good, but
it's amazing.
I've watched a lot of chick track content in the past.
So you're familiar with it?
A little familiar, a little bit. It's a little. I've seen it a lot. Yeah, but but I really love Jake and Hannah's stuff. I watch Hannah's stream from time to time. So.
Oh yeah,
yeah, I know. Everybody wants me to do the chick tracks too. I know we should probably do them at some point. I know they're still going, which is kind of wild.
Are they real? Oh, yeah. Even though Chick's dead, isn't he?
Yeah, I think his organization is still making them. Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah, of course they gotta keep the tradition alive.
Yeah. Well, I was expecting more spicy questions, honestly, but if anybody has any last questions,
some of the people that would have maybe asked you some of those spicy questions are a little less excited to be in my community at the moment, considering that I'm a little bit more critical than they initially thought towards people with bad takes, even though we don't hate people for bad takes, right? We're here to affect the discourse. We're here to participate in the discourse. We're not here to necessarily get personal with people just because they want to roll. You know, they can find another jujitsu partner. I've got other things on my schedule. But it's anybody got spicy? Anybody? It's gonna bring the spice.
Anybody? No one has not even one person has a hot take for me? Fine.
You will not get banned.
I thought this was the hot take economy.
The take economy, yeah, it was part of the take industrial complex, actually.
The hot take industrial complex.
Oh, you have a spicy, Dizzy says.
Oh, shit.
Dizzy, you got a spicy?
Aw.
Do
I really want spicy?
I think we can handle spicy as long as it's not like, you don't be a dick.
This has been a really calm and straightforward conversation. And so, yeah, if people have questions, if people have like a burning question that they want to ask me, this is your opportunity. It's been like a chill thing. I can... what is my opinion on Takis? Oh, I really like Takis. The thing is, I can't eat a whole lot of spicy food because I have like everybody who I sound like a fucking old piece of shit saying all this shit, but it's like my stomach is like really, really sensitive after a surgery I had like 2 years ago. So I like spicy food. I can't eat a whole lot of it, but I fucking love Takis. Takis are so goddamn good. Yeah, they're so good.
Yeah, chat has a hot take for you, but don't worry, they're pretty pilled on it, so everything should be fine. Nice. It's always good when it starts off with those words.
Listen, I never thought that like in the modern era that the fucking pill removers was going to be a necessary tool, but I find myself ordering a battery operated pill remover every single day.
Oh my God.
Get closer and closer to actually ordering it.
Kingdom Hearts never had a genuinely good game.
Wrong. Now that is a hot take, and I will debate you on that.
Most people say 2 was a genuinely good game, right?
Well, both 1 and 2 were
I like Birth by Sleep, but that's just maybe more character driven for me.
Yeah, I haven't played Birth by Sleep, so but yeah, no, they're both good. So yeah.
I think people get frustrated though, because they play them and then they want something from part 3, and there's no way they could have delivered on part 3. Like, do you know what I mean? They had so many storylines going.
I haven't played it. I've heard there's good things. Apparently the final mix version is actually amazing. Like they made apparently they made a lot of. I've been told that they made a lot of changes.
Oh, I bought
it's like just come out, I think.
Damn.
Yeah,
because I got the compendium that's like the story. It's like the story.
Now everyone in chat is saying Final Mix is so good. Yeah, apparently they made in Final Mix they made a lot of changes to they tweaked up the combat a lot, and did a lot of numbers tweaks, and they changed a lot of stuff. So there's like actually been a lot of gameplay changes that apparently makes it very good, which is cool.
Oh, that is really cool. Because, yeah, I mean, like, even if you're not, like, super satisfied, and nobody's going to be satisfied with the story, especially, yeah, there was no way they could be like, we're going to get, like, Shion's story, we're going to complete that Aqua's story, like, every single one of all the foretellers, they just had so many characters. It's like they just keep on adding characters, and then they were, like, had to, like, somehow wrap everybody's, at least touch on everybody's, like, story, and they did what they could. I don't know if there was any way to save everybody's. Well, I mean, like, they did save everybody, but they didn't, like, you know, really give everyone the time that all those fandoms like wanted.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. I mean, the story of Kingdom Hearts is kind of a mess, but it's like a lovable mess.
Yeah,
you know?
it is.
You don't really play Kingdom Hearts for like the coherent story. There's this really great video online that's just like
a lecture.
Playing, it's like no, it's like this little video that's like playing Kingdom Hearts as an adult, and it's just like, oh great, another cutscene, and then like the guy's just sitting there, and it's like, and then it's just like, well, gosh, Sora, have you tried looking into the darkness within your heart and seeing if there's light within? And then it's just like, and then like the Donald voice comes in, it's like, and the guy's like, Jesus fucking Christ, and he takes his headphones off. It's just like, true, that is like kind of the experience. The story is a little bit silly and ridiculous, but
and Donald never heals me, although I've heard he's good at healing you in 3. I've heard he's better at healing in 3.
Oh yeah,
supposedly.
I'm sure they finally got that working.
He would always heal me. He'd waste a potion on me when I was like almost full, and then when I'm about to die, he never heals me. But anyway, that's probably more about my relationship with Donald than it is about, you know, the potions or anything else. That's oh my god. So
got a few questions, I see.
Yeah, quite a few. Let me see which one was next. Oh my god, do you have Chatterino? Do you use Chatterino? That's a question for me, by the way.
What's Chatterino?
It's like some kind of third-party app that supposedly makes chat easier to read, so it's not so unwieldy when it gets heavy.
No, because I use I have my own site chat. It's its own thing.
Okay, is it nice to use at least?
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah, my site chat is like fucking amazing. Like
cool.
the white leaf chat thing, which is like it's the same as the one that VGG uses. So if you've ever used VGG chat, then you've probably used the exact same thing as mine. But it's super easy to manage, and like the only thing it kind of is like lacking is it doesn't have Twitch like mod view. But it might happen someday. We might have a mod view at some point.
It's a lot for White Nervosa to handle. I'm glad she does what she does. She's pretty amazing.
White Nervosa is like amazing, and yeah, she's got a lot of vision for this project. It just will take a little bit of time to get it.
She's so cool.
To get it all put into place. Yeah.
Okay. I can make a coherent argument as to why trans women are biologically women and not in the socially constructed sense that trans men are biologically men, that non-binary people are biologically not. Wait, is that an answer to something, or is that a question? Okay, it was highlighted, so I thought it was a question. I don't know if it's. You want to comment on that, or?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Or maybe they're gonna go. Maybe they're gonna go. Oh no, there's hot take number 2. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I'd be open to hearing some sort of thing like that. I don't really, like. On a personal level, I don't really care whether people are biologically anything. I don't think that matters for any part of our lives. All of our society, it's in the name. We live in a society, but we live in a world of social constructs and social contracts, and that's all that matters. So to me, I don't really care about the biology of anything. I think there's I think that the information can be valuable in certain contexts. Like, for example, learning about biology is very helpful for medicine. But when we try to apply like essentialist or biologically essentialist positions to society, I think it's almost always folly, because that's not what it's designed for. Like, our biology should be used to like figure out what medicines our body can absorb, not like how we treat each other. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
But I'm sure there's a case that it could be made, and I would be interested to hear it, of course.
I'm becoming a big woke scold on certain words. Not really, but there's certain words that I get sick of hearing. Like, one of those words is transgenderism, because to me, when people say that, I don't know. Do you think that like my identity is a philosophy? Do you think that I am like, you know, a part of a project to like, you know, evangelize the world to get you all to change your, you know, gender or something like that? Like, it's not. it's bizarre and it's absurd, and I think it's really destructive because like TERFs will use that, and people don't realize that's like kind of where it comes from, right? TERFs will use that to say, I'm not arguing against trans people, right? I'm arguing against the transgenderism. It's the, you know, and it's like, no, my identity is not up for debate, asshole.
Yeah, it's all, it has certain ties to like kind of like how the term transsexual you know, is
medicalized.
Yeah, it's hyper medicalized, but also like it was heavily used as a term to be exclusive by Blanchard, you know, like, so there's a lot of politics and baggage there. Yeah, so it does make alarm bells go off in my head, though I know some people say it unintentionally.
Yeah, that's the other thing is I can't go full woke scold on them just because like I realize that like it's language. It sounds like, you know, if you're looking for a word for like transness or something like that, then you might pick up that word. But I'm always trying to say to them, if you're looking for that word, maybe try trans rights, maybe try trans liberation. That might be more along the lines of like, you know, what you're trying to say. The other word is like biologically male. You know what I mean? I just feel like it's such a it feels like an end run around my identity. Do you know what I mean? It feels like
yeah. I feel you 100% on that.
Not a big fan of that. Okay. Why do people continuously stand Vosh and Destiny to oh wow, we are getting spicy, huh? Pepe La D and Pepe La V, despite repeated instances of both of these idiots either participating in or avidly supporting rhetoric that targets marginalized people. Uh-oh.
I can't answer that for Destiny, but I can tell you why for Vosh at least. And sure, this might sound like my bias, but I don't really fucking care. This is my personal opinion, and also my personal experience, and that is that people stand Vosh because even though Vosh has had bad takes, he tends to hold himself pretty strongly accountable, especially these days, to his bad takes. I mean, he has had them. Who hasn't? Literally every person. I think Vosh has made some pretty big missteps in the past. But he also is like incredibly respectful on a general level to most other creators. Also actually supports the space, puts a lot of his time and money back into the space that he works in. Is like very like literally he's been hugely supportive to me. So obviously again I have a bias, but like that's the thing, right? Like if somebody actually goes out of their way to help your channel succeed, that's pretty great. And like I think that people don't give him credit for how willing he's been willing to in the past like actually own up to and talk about at length his mistakes that he's made in the past. So I think that's why people still stand him. I don't really know. I can't really speak for Destiny because you know, I don't think that I don't think he does that same thing. But maybe he does. Maybe some people see that and that's fine if they do. So and I don't think that like Vosh is like some perfect person. I just understand why a lot of people feel comfortable. And also there's another reason for it too. And this one is like a little bit less of like about Vosh as a person and more about like the type of community that Vosh has built. Is that Vosh's community, for the most part, feels safer to a lot of people than other communities. Even if Vosh himself isn't like the most perfect hot like take machine, Vosh's community is run in such a way that it generally makes a space that's actually safe for people to discuss stuff and feel accepted, and that's pretty good. Even if you don't like Vosh as a person, that's a feat, and I think that that like people should be able to recognize that like, hey, there's something being done correct, whether it's in the choice of who's moderating the space, which I happen to think that you know, Vermin does a really good job with Vosh's Discord. In fact, Vosh's Discord was a huge inspiration for my own Discord. Not the only one. There was a couple of different Discords that were highly inspirational. Interestingly, RGR's Discord was the most inspirational Discord to my own. And largely because of how robust and reasonable the mod team was. Which is where like, but somewhere in the ballpark of those two Discords was where I was like, okay, I want my Discord to be something in this ballpark where people know that they're safe here. They can engage in, you know, they can go into the arena channel and go debate with each other really hardcore, but know that they're not going to be subjected to like harassment or anything like that. And if anything like that is to happen, that our mods will take action immediately and make people stay. So I think that's probably the reason why. I think those are like the reasons. That is a spicy question, I will admit, but there's my honest opinion.
In this economy, oh god, let me try. Wait, I don't know what the economy part was about, but Final Fantasy 13 is the best Final Fantasy and is only exceeded by the Gucci shoot. Wait, there was a Gucci shoot? I know there was a Gucci thing for JoJo. Was there a Gucci thing for Final Fantasy? Yay or nay? Okay, they're asking you to approve.
That's a big nay from me. That's gonna have to be a big nay. I don't know what the best Final Fantasy
said that
is,
the sequel to 13, like it makes more sense after the sequels, but I swear to God, I played that game through.
13 was just
I didn't understand what happened.
So boring.
They all turned into crystals.
The gameplay was boring.
I actually liked the game. I was okay with once I got into that, like, what was they called, paradigms? You shift your paradigm and stuff like that. I kind of started to have fun with it eventually, but yeah, it was really different for me because I'd only played, like, what did I play? Like, I think I played 8 and 10 and
I've played
Tactics.
I've played 2, 4, 7, 8, 10, or 9, 10, 11, 14, and 15.
Damn.
And a little bit of 13. And I've got to say, you know, my heart will always have a soft spot for Final Fantasy 7. Somebody says nobody liked 8, but I did like 8. I liked 7, 8, and 9. I thought were really good. I really liked 10, and I've actually played 10 relatively recently.
Yeah.
Like a year and a half ago. I basically played it with my partner, and helped them make, like, you know, like, basically I was a backseat gamer.
Best.
And it was super, super good. And it ages really well. Like, Final Fantasy X has aged really well. Like, you can go back and play it right now, and even the graphics
music is like so, like, that song of the hymn of the faith, like that actually. I could meditate to that, and I don't really meditate. I'm too ADD to meditate. 8, listen, the only reason that people don't realize that 8 is the best is because they don't remember that we were all in the same orphanage as kids, Fivehead. Come on, don't you remember?
That's what it was. Yeah. Also, Final Fantasy 9 is underrated because a lot of people just kind of bounced off of the aesthetic of 9. It had, like, this very, like, carnival aesthetic. But it's fucking good. That game is really good, and the music is god tier.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think I remember hearing one from that.
is one that I really want to play. Oh yeah, and Triple Triad was so
Triple
good.
Triad was
fucking love that shit. I really like 14, but yeah.
Oh god, I gotta still play that. See, I've got this huge backlog. People are like, you gotta play Chrono Trigger. You gotta, like, I started playing some of the.
You gotta
play
Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger is the, like, I think. Oh god, I don't know. Maybe that's too hot. It's pretty damn good. Like, it's not a Final Fantasy mainline title, but it absolutely lives up to the spirit of Final Fantasy. Plus, it has fucking all the, like, art that was done, all the promotional art for it was done by Akira Toriyama, the artist who did Dragon Ball Z. Like, it's like wild. So, like, okay, literally,
I thought it looked. Yeah. I thought they were ripping off his style. It was actually the same artist, though.
It was actually him. Yeah, it was him. Yeah,
nice.
He did it. And it's also, like, has an unbelievably good soundtrack that, like, and also it's aged, like, very, very well. As far as, like, Super Nintendo RPGs go, it's got a fast enough combat that you can actually enjoy playing it to this day. Plus, it has this unique system of, like, positioning and combos that is really cool. You have to play it to understand, but it's a really good game, and it absolutely holds up. Great story, great music, great art. Just Chrono Trigger is one of the best that Square ever did.
Oh, God, I've got such a backlog, and I never do it because there's too much to cover. There's always something going on that I, like, need to catch up with or need to watch on stream in order to just stay current, let alone to, like, you know, really cover my whole beat. So, like, I don't get to do enough. But right these days, I've been working on Persona 2. I went back to the old school shit, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty amazing. It's got a lot of, like, the character design wasn't what it was in Persona 3 through 5, right? But it was like they were a little bit more free. They didn't have to make all the characters, like, they weren't always going for beautiful with the characters, I guess, in the way that they, you know, came to do. So there was more, like, character.
Yeah, that's cool. I know a lot of people who are fans of the Persona series. I have never played them, so I'm, like, a little out of the loop on those games, but like, almost everyone I know is at least to some degree a fan of them.
I think you would like them. There's a lot of, yeah. Have you played a SMT or any other Atlas games?
Nope.
Oh wow.
I've played Catherine, which is an Atlas game, which I have thoughts about. But,
I've heard, yeah.
Yeah.
I've never played it, but
yeah. Other than that, it's an interesting game, I guess. But yeah, no, I haven't really gotten into that whole thing. So yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a very game. It's all about like you're instead of, it's like Final Fantasy, but instead of like, you know, your players, you've got like demons. Or wait, no,
That sounds awesome.
in SMT, it is a party of demons. In Persona, it's like every person has a demon that they can summon. So
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. What else do we have? Have you seen the bi, gay, trans characters that were introduced in World of Warcraft?
Yeah, I have. Some of them, like, I mean, I think some of them were a little bit like, I mean, here's the thing. Some of them are really good characters. Honestly, the new expansion of World of Warcraft was really fun. I just can't keep up with it. I've been way too busy with stream. But yeah, they've added quite a lot of like more of a diverse cast. They've been doing that. Excuse me. They've been doing that actually for a little while. They add, I think there was a trans character in Legion, but it was a side story that most people never played. And now they've gotten, and then in Battle for Azeroth, they added like, I think a couple of gay characters. And then now they've added like an explicitly trans character who's a main character of a storyline. And that's pretty cool. In my opinion, like, obviously there's some things that are still a little bit like cringe. I mean, one of the gay characters in the newest expansion of World of Warcraft, it's like one of those things where like it's like, hey, can you do this fetch quest for me? And you're like, oh, okay, I'll go deliver this package to the person. And then they open up and they're like, it's flowers. Oh, it's flowers from my girlfriend. You delivered flowers from my girlfriend. Isn't that cool? Thank you for helping us be gay together. And you're like, yeah, okay. But it's like, it's one of those where it like kind of hits you over the head with it, but
Right.
still good anyway. Still cute anyway. And there's a lot of other stuff that's actually commendable. So I'm very happy to see that they've decided to branch out a little bit.
Why did Mickey Mouse take off his shirt that one time?
Did he?
In Kingdom Hearts, I think they're talking about like that. There's something about he has this no shirt in Kingdom Hearts 1, but then he has a shirt in Kingdom. Like it's the same scene, but like he looks different, and it's like either a retcon or.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that specific thing.
Yeah,
a wizard did it.
I remember hearing
correct,
about
Marinara.
that.
A wizard did it. It was
a wizard. It was Yen said. Yeah, there we go. Yen said. There's your explanation.
Yep.
Yeah, AMAB and AFAB can also be used in those same kind of ways. Is it really holding yourself accountable when, oh wow, we're following up on the question from before. When a few weeks later you do it again and have to make another video calling yourself into account?
I don't know. Maybe I'd have to talk. I'd have to like know exactly what's being referred to. Yeah. I mean, it could be. People make mistakes. People take time to learn. And hey, I'd rather have somebody who makes a mistake and then calls themselves into account every time they make that mistake and really tries to get better than somebody who just ignores it and blazes onward doing harm. So maybe not. It could be that they're just like not honest or whatever, but like it could also just be that people take time to fix mistakes and people have struggles grasping things, and maybe they're just being honest about it. I don't know. Like, I try to give charitability to people as much as possible. Though I do recognize, like, I had a big conversation recently about like the importance of building trust, and trust is really fucking important. And as it turns out, sometimes even if you don't do things, even if you do everything right, but you don't like pay attention to build like caring for the trust of your community, they might not trust you. And for some people, they're not going to have that. Like, there's going to be some people whose thresholds for trust are lower, and that's fine. Yeah, you don't have to like everybody. So
True. Yeah. I feel like there should be more like middle ground as far as that goes. Of like, you know, you could be mad at somebody without being like, you know, burning the bridge. There's just like too much of that, and like a lot of it's like this like pattern that's gotten set forward by like, I feel like in some ways we're reliving, like, you know, what was created by Destiny and Vosh back, and the skeptics to some degree back in the day, that a lot of those, like, you know, patterns that got set forth way back are still sort of, I mean, they don't stay the same. They do change. Like, what do they say? History doesn't exactly repeat itself, but it does often rhyme.
I mean, yeah, I think there's truth to that. I mean, I think it's not even like necessarily like the matter of like the characters being involved. It's just that like online spaces are vulnerable to certain flaws. Like on the internet, people's memories are really short, and most of the time when people make a mistake, they just brush it under the rug and know that like 10 days from then there's going to be so many new subs that never even knew it happened. You know, depending on the size of the channel. So I don't know, it is complicated. Online accountability is something I don't think that we figured out yet. I don't think we figured out how to do that. And so for now we're just in a space where it's like you have to make your own conclusions, do your best research, and you know, try to sort of uh I don't know what the word is. Like you want to try to put together your own case for people, whether you trust them or not.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't blame people who don't trust X content creator. I do think it's a little harmful when people normalize just like saying whatever the fuck you want without any claims about content creators. You know, because I've seen a lot of really I mean, obviously about myself. Obviously, that's what we spent most of this time talking about, but other creators as well. I've seen people call like I've seen people call content creators that I know that like the most horrible things imaginable with zero evidence. And I think that's really irresponsible. I think people should like dial it back. But if people have critiques or don't trust somebody like Vosh, that's their prerogative, and they probably have good reasons for it. That's fine.
Yeah.
But people are going to have different conclusions. And you know, uh, if you're, I don't know, I think it's not so simple as like, have they fucked up once or twice, then that's the end of the world for them. And anyway, at the end of the day, again, I would always prefer somebody who will call themselves out every time they fuck up and actually leave that up for the record than somebody who will just ignore it and pretend it never happened. Yeah.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I mean, the way it's like the internet, the natural progression of things. Yeah. Like, right, if we don't pay attention, if we just like put things on autopilot, the natural progression is that we're gonna like end up projecting our inner stuff onto each other and fighting over things that we don't really have that much of a, like, you know, I mean, if you gotta fight, you gotta fight. If you got like interests that are antithetical, right, the way that the like capitalist class interests are antithetical to those of the proletariat, right, there are some things that aren't resolvable, but a lot of things can be, you know, dissolved, right? And that's,
I agree, a lot of things can be worked forward from, but it's very hard to do so. It's very hard to do so with the chaos of most online platforms.
And you need somebody that you can trust. You need a partner that you can actually trust in that, right? Not
of course. Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah,
because
it's like
like you said,
online accountability is just hella hard to do. It's just really hard.
Yeah, that's true. Do you ever get the issue where something comes to you and you're supposed to make a decision or something, you know, and it's kind of like, you know, there's like so much evidence that it's like I literally don't have time to read all these like screen captures and try to make sense of it and you know, pick a side or throw up my hands and say, I don't know, you're both screwed up, or, you know, you talking past each other.
I don't encounter that very much, but that's probably because most of the time I don't care.
Yeah.
Like just like so many people have like internet squabbles, and I don't care. Like,
well, it's discerning those things from, like, you know, when somebody's expressing that like there really is, you know, a danger in the community. I want to be you know, there for that.
If that's the case, like people can actually, like, those things can be brought forward. There will be, if there's a large claim being made, there should, you know, people will usually have receipts for that and can make a case for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And there have been various situations, but I don't think I've ever really felt like I was forced to put into a position where I had to make a statement, except for on my own drama, because that has to do with me. And I made a statement about it, and people fucking got mad that I even said anything. So it's like, okay, well, you don't defend yourself. People tell you whatever they want, you do, and then people say you're a fucking piece of shit or whatever. So
Well, your thing was one of the easier ones to discern because there's basically it stemmed from one stream, right? I've had situations before where I've been like presented with like somebody sending me like 75 screenshots from Discord, somebody else sending me like 40, and just like trying to be like, okay, first of all, are these like legit screenshots, and like I don't know, try to see what you can conclude and what you can't, and it's a little bit much. That's why like in general I try to only pass something on, only forward something, only support a claim when I've checked it out, because I don't want to be that person that's just hitting retweet because it's like, this is my friend and I don't think they'd lead me wrong. My friends can lead me wrong and I'll probably lead them wrong. I'm wrong about some stuff a lot. Hey, check on me, make sure that I'm like that I'm not being led around by unconscious bias or something like that, because that's an impossibility. It might happen one of these days. I'm just saying, chat. And the fact that you would be here for me to check me and to like kind of bring me back to my senses, that means like so much to me, because I've seen what happens when content creators don't have that, and they kick out all the people that could have kind of given them some sense of kind of brought them back into a grounded state where they're thinking straight.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's fair. That's an interesting question.
Yeah, I don't know, that might be too spicy. Looks like it was.
Well, here's the thing. Just shoot me a DM if you think that you were banned incorrectly. I don't really like speculating on that type of stuff, and if the mods determined that they didn't want, I didn't see anybody get banned in chat. I only saw mute. Mutes are not a big deal. If you get muted, please just be mature about it. That's all.
Yeah, true.
It's just a mute. You'll be back in a second.
The mods job is not easy. Okay, the mods do a lot for both of us, and the certain nights it's amazing that they're even able to get through and take the kind of abuse that they get, have to manage all the unban appeals and everything else. So just have some sympathy for the mods. They're doing the best that they can.
They do a lot. Yeah. Yep. But yeah. No, I don't think anybody. No, Gina. I don't think anybody muted. No comment check. It was something else. It was somebody commented in. It's all good. Don't worry, Gina.
No, I'm it should be fine there.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah. So, well, all right.
Yeah, thank you so much, DemonMama, for coming by here and talking to us. I loved kind of catching up, seeing what's going on, and we'll be in touch and stuff, and definitely I'll be thinking of you in the for the bird brains coming up on.
Yeah, I'd love to. I mean, it's like,
and I'll try to get you some conservatives. It is really hard though.
Fucking impossible.
It is really hard.
Banned left and
right.
Yeah,
exactly. The ones that you like that would be okay, or they get TOS'd off the platform, and then the ones that are left are kind of like either they're not really conservatives or they're they're, I don't know, some kind of like mutant Nazbol or something, right? I don't know. I'm just like, okay, that's so fun once or twice, but
the thing is, I'll even argue with with more extreme people. It's just like I don't know. They usually can't even keep like their pants on without dropping slurs. Like, so it's just like, holy shit.
True. Have you dealt with Doobie yet? Have you
I've talked to Doobie a few times. Doobie invited me to do a Q&A on the politics Discord. So I don't know. I might do that at some point in the future.
Can you explain Doobie's political alignment? Because I always get confused.
I have no clue.
Yeah, okay. Honestly, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one that's confused by that. Okay, I'm just making sure.
No, I have no idea. I think I kind of, there's a part of me that thinks that that's like intentional. After all, he does run like a politics Discord where I think he has to keep like a little bit of like mystery around it so that people don't get so that maybe the people don't think that the politics Discord is a bit slanted in a certain way.
Yeah.
I don't know anything. I've not really found like most of his takes super agreeable, but also like I just don't know where he lands on it, and whatever. So.
I always start to agree with him, and then he's like, wait a minute, no comment chick, before you agree with me, let me say the rest of what I'm saying. And I'm like, whoa, okay, yeah, you're right. I guess I don't agree with you on that. So, but yeah, it's a bunch of fun. Well, yeah, thanks for coming by here again, and thanks for being real, and thank you, DemonMama's community, for being there for her through all that unfair shit that she had to deal with, and you know, for everybody out there that, you know, has had trouble and has been, you know, upset these last few weeks, you know, just know that we got to be here for each other. That's the only thing that we can do, is be here for each other, support each other, and stick to the truth, okay? Because that's, you know, what's going to keep us on, you know, ground where we can engage and trust each other. That's the most important thing, is maintaining those that trust between each other. So
yeah, I agree. I think that respect and trust between content creators is really important. But also, like, we live in really fucking dark times. Just be good to one another, you know?
oh my God, yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Irene. It's been great
Thank
talking
you so
with
much,
you.
DemonMama.
Much love to the No Comment Chick chat.
Much love to the imps.
Yeah, they're very happy right now. They're all sending their love right now. So
yeah, no, our communities are very, very much simpatico. So
yeah, there's
yeah.
a lot of overlap, which makes me happy. So
True
all
that.
right, talk
True
to you
that.
soon,
All right,
Irene.
talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Riley was right. Oh my God, Riley's